Today, it's all about space. What can we fill empty spaces in our city with that will make our citizens happier, keep our city looking fantastic, and continue our growth towards 100,000 citizens? To solve that problem, we'll be using some absolutely beautiful new assets, plus a new mod that is something I've been looking forward to since City Skylines 2 was launched. If you're looking forward to today's video, then put a sheep emoji in the comments below, foreshadowing, and then grab a cup of tea, sit back and relax as we dive into Kettlewick. So here we are back in Kettlewick, and we're going to start off with naming the area. I asked you for some name ideas for what we worked on last episode, and then we're going to work on something that I think is going to make the citizens really happy in that area too. Again, thank you for that suggestion. I'll be name dropping a few comments in a moment as well, and just enjoying this flyover of our city so far. Really loving how things are looking, how things are expanding, and of course keep your suggestions coming on what else you'd like to see. Now, another suggestion we're going to be working on today, it's almost like community submission day today. Another one we're going to be working on is some little villages around and outside of the main Kettlewick build that we've got, because that's really going to help us to build the British sort of feel of what we've been working on. So here we are coming up over the River Tees and then coming up to St Bourneville on the Tees. And the first suggestion that we had, it was from Yin Yangles that said you could name the expansion phase Brewburgh to get a mix of both parts of the town. I think that's a fantastic idea. So if we just head on over here to what is called at the moment expansion phase 3, and we're going to name this Brewburgh. There we go. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Now, I also had a suggestion for what to do with this little area through here, and that was from Der Bestevan that said, I think you should add a green belt around St Bourneville with a bike lane on it, similar to Promenade in the German city of Munster. Let's just take a quick look at that. And here we go. We can see Munster right here, just north of Dortmund. And if we just zoom into this city down here, we can see it has at its centre a very similar sort of setup as to what we've got at St Bourneville on the Tees. Just angle this round a bit. So we imagine this is the road that goes round the outside. And as we zoom in, we can see that this whole area here is a very stylised, nicely designed park that goes all the way around the outside of this area. And I think that'll be a fantastic demarcation from what we have in the middle, our old town, and what was or what is the new town that's been building up around the outside. I think that is a fantastic suggestion. I might pop back here for a little bit of inspiration as we go along with the build. Right, back to Kettlewick. And then one more suggestion that I want to implement from Tech Gaming 45. You need to add a couple of pubs in there. That is an absolutely fantastic idea. Let's do that first. So I'd like one right by the centre here where we've got all the parks and other amenities, and we're just going to remove this building here first of all, and then we're going to grab the Heath pub, which I just think that is going to fit into that corner absolutely perfectly. We can do a little manoeuvring with the Move It mod and get that to sit in there, and we can sort out the surfaces. And I'm just wondering whether there is the possibility of recolouring this, and I'm not entirely sure that is going to work. Or we can recolour the roof. Excellent. Well, let's jump into this one and see. I think this, well, let's just pick the whole colour. We'll copy the whole lot, and then we'll jump into here, and then we'll paste it in. That is not too bad, actually, is it? Let me just see if I can change that a little bit. Okay, it's not that one, it's this one. Now, that is weird. It's not changing it at all. Well, that's very strange. I'll tell you what then, we'll just go with the colour that it gives us. That fits in. It's almost being perfect. Let's just do a little bit with the surface we've got here. I want to get that one there. So we're going to use the Picker mod from Find It. Click Surfaces, and we're going to find the surface that's here. We just want the surface. That's picking the walking area. There it is. Flemish herringbone. And then we're going to paste that in there. There we go. Excellent. And then we can do a little bit of work on this too. There we go. I think that pub fits in there. Let's add a couple more. Okay, there we go. A selection of pubs in St Bourneville on the Tees and in Brewburgh along the back here as well. So let's have a little think about the park that we want to have running up here. I would like to use some of the parks that we already have available to us, but then of course I want to add my own little parks along the way as well. So maybe I'll just place a few of these down here and then we'll build around them. Okay, there we go. A lovely little bit of green belt added in at the back of these houses here. I think just mixing in these different parks, got a nice little plaza there, having some trees and all paths and all sorts of things. Yeah, I like it. I put the hang around areas down here. I don't think they work any. I haven't seen anybody hanging around down there. We do have a few homeless people that have rocked up in their tents down here, so that obviously tells us something. We'll get to be working on that very soon. We've got some nice plazas and things. Yeah, I'm really liking the way that this has turned out. A little bit of parking in there for that park, and just sort of dotting in these pre-made parks and then building around them, I think just works really well. There we go. Excellent. So let's see if we can help these homeless people that are living in here. We had some of these pop up before. I think they were in here, weren't they? I was wondering why people were living in there. It's homeless residents, although they're not actually showing in here as living in any tent. Oh yeah, there's a few tents around the back, so there's obviously some tucked in there in a few places. So actually let's just have a quick look in here and see if it gives us homeless. So there's one, wow, 1,388 homeless in our city of nearly 100,000, 1.5%. That's terrible, isn't it? Oh man, that's like blown my mind, that has. So really we need to provide some very, very low cost housing. So we've got two options. The way that the rent is worked out just very basically is taking the footprint of the house and dividing it by all the people that live in there. Now as we click on these, we can see there's 3 households in there, and the size of these I think is, let's have a look, does it say on there? Yeah, the lot size is 2 by 2, so that's very small. So these terrace houses in the UK pack are particularly good at being very cheap to live in, very low rent. We of course have also got, let's have a look in here, we do that one there. So this is set to 2 by 2. We have lots of blocks of flats, so something like this takes up the same amount of space, but I'm just going to pause the game so we don't get a load of people moving in. But as you can see, that is 52 households over the same piece of land. So the total rent there. So is that the total rent for everybody? I don't know. I've actually looked and seen this thing before. Total rent 223. Residential level 1, lot size 4, base rent, land value rent, total rent 223. Rent per renter. Well, that is super cheap, isn't it? $4. 4 simoleons, or obviously £4 because we're in the UK. What does this one say? Rent per renter 50. So the solution is going to be some blocks of flats over here. So we need a little area that would make sense to have some flats in. So at the back here, we've got the Shard Arena, which is going to be quite noisy. I would say this little spot here would be absolutely perfect. We could upgrade this road going round here to some type of parking road. 1 lane, 1 way angled parking. We did this. Yeah, that parking would be on the inside where the flats are. I think that would be good. And obviously we need to upgrade a couple of other roads along here. Let's just grab a normal road there, and there, so they can get in, and then of course they need to get out as well, so we'll do that. So that could actually be a one-way road going through there, couldn't, like so. Yeah, that would make more sense, and then we could fit some of those flats in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to building level 1, and there's just this one UK large blocks of flats. Now I don't know, there's certain places in the UK where you go where you do have these together in sets. We've actually got a set of them all the way down there, but I think we can go for something like this. So if we go 1, 2, 3 this end, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3 this end, like so, and then what I'm going to do is try and maneuver this one back as far as it will go. There we go, like that. And then we're going to move this one over so it's a little bit nearer, something like that. And I'm just wondering whether we could play with the, let's bring this one back a little bit, play with the angle a touch. Yeah, see, that doesn't seem to care about the angle. I like that. If we bring this one over a bit. Yeah, I think something like that would work quite well. And to be honest, I like the random colours it's come up with. That is something that you get on these blocks of flats now. And I don't think that is it doesn't stand out too badly compared to the other high buildings that we've got in here as well. So I'm assuming that these are going to be filled up like straight away by people. They are absolutely rammed. So we've got 100 residents, 52 households, 107, 84. So I'm hoping that all of these are cheap enough to help rent a 2 per. That is just so immensely cheap. We've still got 1,000 people that are homeless. I'm just wondering what is going to be the best thing to try and deal with that, other than just keep having lots of cheap housing everywhere, which I think we're just going to have to work on as we go through each area a bit at a time. Okay, there we go. Not too complicated. I'm thinking we've got 600 residents in there. That's nearly 1,000. I'm just thinking we're going to take a little corner over here and we're going to do a similar thing as well. That means we need to buy, let's see, whoa, let's get zoomed out. It's far too far. We are going to buy that square there because I want this road to connect up to down here and give us a way out of this area. Make sure there's no traffic lights on there. Nope, we're fine. That'll do nicely. And then let's just carve a little section out of here, just so we're not using the whole thing. I'm just thinking we just bring that road up there at 90 degrees, if it will let me. Come on, 90 degrees, you can do it. And we'll go into there. And this is where we'll put these flats. And we'll just see if we can find some larger ones as well. And here we go. If we change the lot width, then we do. We've got these, which are probably the largest footprints. And let's just pause things and have a look. 6 by 6. We're going to get only 77 households in there because they're not so tall. Okay, maybe not that one. We have these which we've used elsewhere. They're actually quite small, and these are quite small as well. And then we go to the larger flats over here. What have we got? Oh, now that is a substantial block of flats. What have we got in there? 126 households. I think that's going to be the one. Yes, we've got these 3 different designs of that same one. So we've got 126, we've got 124, and 124 in that one. So I think a few blocks of these in here would work very well. Okay, so I don't think we're going to be solving the homeless problem today, but we've definitely added a lot more residents to this area, and I think these various types of blocks of flats really fit in well. We've added a little bit of parking there, some custom services as well. There's loads of parking in that one. Hopefully some people will move in and start using it. And then these ones over here that we saw before. Yeah, I think it's just really filling out this area nicely. So one of the things I'd like to do is make use of a new mod that's just appeared between episodes of recording. We've got this sort of farmland that's not really doing anything out the back here. It's just these coloured fields, but if we jump into our specialised industry, we have a new mod here called Sheep Pasture, which is by Trist1322. And basically, you can have a whole sheep pasture. It's bigger. Look at the area of effect this is compared to, let's just take the normal livestock farming. That's the same as all the other farms. This one is huge. We could fill an entire area with sheep farming. And also, it doesn't zone those ridiculous buildings that you get with all the other areas that you put down. And it puts nice little sheep spawners in. In fact, if we search for sheep in Find It, we'll get a little idea of what we get. There we go. So that's the one. This one here. Yeah, these ones here, what I was placing. Plus, I believe there's some upgrades. And then we get the little sheep pasture. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're placing down here. So we're going to have a go with that and see how that looks. And I'm thinking of filling all this area in. We can make it look like it's various different sheep farms or sheep pastures by keeping that area, but just by placing that building. So what I'm thinking of doing here, let's just have a look at the road layout. I'm just thinking that we're going to make this feel like this has always been here. Let's go with a gravel road, and we're going to bring this gravel road out from here. So it's almost like this road at some point has been upgraded. We might sort of bring that along here. We might, do you know what? We're going to connect it all the way to there. That's what we're going to do. And whether we change some of this at the end, but this little center section I think we'll keep. And then eventually it was upgraded for this in here. And then I think we should be able to just fit it in there. Yeah, we can do a bit of work with the surfaces as well. Yeah, I think this will work. So I'm going to just add another little path down the side. Oops, down the side there. There we go. And then we're going to plot that against here. Very good. And then we've got a huge area that we can fill in. So where is this starting from? Yeah, it's starting from this side first. So let's just see how this goes and how it looks. I'm going to turn off snapping. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, it doesn't come with any ridiculously horrible coloured surface, which is basically what these would normally have been. And then we should start seeing, I know, some trees. We should start seeing some sheep spawners. There we go. They are popping in. We are getting sheep in the field, which is good. And they're going to randomly pop up in some various places. And let's just have a look at this building down here. I think this comes in a couple of different varieties. But I think that's okay. A nice sort of brick built building that fits in nicely with the UK theme, and we've got some space for some decorating. Does it come with upgrades? Is that something I misunderstood? No, it doesn't come with any upgrades, so that's fine. We'll stick with what we've got. Let me just do a little bit of decorating here. We're definitely going to change the colour of these fields here. So we'll pop into our extra assets menu and surfaces and ground surfaces, and I do have this farm collection down here. So if we use the area bucket tool, we can literally just replace that whole one like that and get a different colour. There we go. That's nice. And then maybe this one here, a little bit green. Let's maybe go for, yeah, how's that? That's not too bad. I like all the different colours that we've got. And then we'll just do a little bit of detailing around here too. What a difference that one prop makes. This one farm, and then put it in with all the surfaces. I just think that looks absolutely brilliant. And we're not going to have any of those random things popping up. And we've got sheep. We've got, yeah, I mean, these are pretty huge sheep fields, but I don't mind. I think this is fine. We're going to say this is sheep rearing on an industrial scale, but really it's the overall look of it that we can have farms that look like that, and they're actually working farms because of this little thing here. Just more details in there too. And what have we got? Yep, extractor, meaty bits. Yep, we know what's happening with these sheep. They're making money, and yeah, it's looking really good. I'm liking that. So we're definitely going to use that in other places as well. Well, the rain has been raining this whole episode. What else has rained? I don't know. Pouring down, not quite. Spitting is probably the word that we would use in the UK about the rain today. Over Kettlewick and St Bourneville-on-the-Tees. And yeah, I'd like to make use of this little bit of space over here. I want to put something historic in here that would have been here as this side of St Bourneville-on-the-Tees was growing, and then slowly as it's expanded, the roads have been built up, we've had the tram network built in, it's just sort of built around it. It's going to mean moving this school. We've got this suburban primary school over here, which is in real need. I'm thinking we'll just move that up to here for now, and then we'll do something with that a little bit later. So McWelshman reached out to me and said, how about a nice, lovely British Tudor Hall in your Kettlewick series? And I thought that was fantastic. It is a lovely building. You can read about it on the screen there. Lots of bonuses and things as well. And I think this is a really cool space to put it in. So I'm thinking that it would have been facing, let's have a look there, into the center over here. That is sort of the plan. Let's turn off the snap. So if we sort of place this in freehand, and then we'll build our roads around it and see how we go. Now, this is one of those places in the UK, perhaps now owned by the National Trust. That you would either pay your yearly National Trust membership and you can come and visit it for free, or you just turn up on a bank holiday Monday after sitting in all the traffic, find that it's raining by the time you get here. Always the way, always the way. And you look around their lovely gardens and take a tour around the building. But this is beautifully, beautifully stunning building. I have to say, it is absolutely fantastic. We're going to do a little bit of tweaking with the surfaces and things, but the detail, as always, McWelshman, you blow me away. I did tell you this in our DM discussion together, but you always do absolutely blow me away. So if I remember, I'll very much try and put a link to McWelshman's PDX Mods page so you can check out their other builds that they've got as well. So Let's just come around this way, and we've got this path that comes out the back here. So what I would like to do is continue this through a nice garden that's going to be designed up here. And what have we got? Then we've got the front entrance down here, which is going to have access to a little bit of parking. So let's see what we can put together. Well, that was a bit of fun, and this person here is very much enjoying the gardens outside this amazing manor house. Let's zoom out a bit and take a bit of a look at what's been going on. So at one point during that build, I accidentally replaced the grass with the concrete that I was looking to replace over here. So I picked one of Sully's mown grass, which I think looks really good. I've also made... I don't know quite what I've done. I think I've added some paths and things inside, which has made some of the pieces of wall disappear. But I've added these rock piles over here, and the idea is they're basically doing some repair work. Let's just pop another one in over this side as well. There we go. I'm just going to add... Ah, it's back. Okay, we won't worry about that one then. Very good. And then, yeah, we've got all sorts of different gardens. So I've run this surface around that I really like, and then put some invisible walking paths underneath as well. And I've sort of made this a free. If you want to come in, it's free. Walk around the gardens, enjoy that. Use the paths to get from one side. Oh, autosave. Have a quick sip of tea. Yeah, use the paths to get from one side of the road and this area to the other. And then if you want to go inside the house, then that is what you pay to go and see. But we've got some nicely planted trees that throughout the year, particularly when we get to autumn, there'll be all sorts of different colours. A little bit of a forest. And then if we go over here, we've just got a nice little created garden that you can walk around, enjoy the different flowers and such. And I've used one of the UK stone walls as well to put around the outside. I may come back and use, let's have a look in here. Yes, we've got this 4-meter pale brick wall. We also have these pillars, which I might come back and put those in at some point as well, but as it stands at the moment, I'm happy with that. And then there's also, as you can see, areas, walk around areas and park areas built into this asset, so there will be people walking around and using the gardens. Hopefully they're feeling okay and they're just enjoying the view. Got people in here enjoying the seating to look out over the gardens that are built in. I just think this fits in really, really well. And these are the gravel car parks here, but I just changed up the surfaces to a sort of a tarmacy, concretey one and just picked a couple of different ones. I think that works much, much better. I'm liking that. So, yeah, let me know what you think about this building here. I think that is... Oh, I just love the way this area is turning out. And it's just down to asset makers like McWelshman and others that put these things together, whether it's the creator packs or Iceflake Studios with their big Iceflake Arena at the back and all these different buildings and things that just really make this area. I am absolutely loving the way it's turning out. And, of course, this is fitting in with the entire Kettlewick build as well. And I'm thinking next time I really want to dive into doing some little villages around the place, which is something that is requested quite often. So I want to ask for your feedback. So we're going to turn around this way because I always view that area up there as north. So as we look at this map, let's try and get it in a place where there's not all clouds in the way. Where shall we do our villages? So I'm thinking top right over here is quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. And yeah, if you want to sort of pick an area you think would be a nice place to put some villages in and stick it in the comments below, then I will definitely keep my eye out for them and we'll work on that next time. I also wanted to mention a couple of the changes that have happened in the last patch. One of them is more of a balance to education, which I think's worked really well. So before we'd see a huge amount of people that just want to go to elementary, and it would just mean elementary schools as far as the eye can see. That's been balanced out a little bit as well, which is really good. Also, the performance in the game. There's a couple of things that mentioning shadows and stuff, which I haven't really seen. I can't sort of see any change in the visuals is what I'm saying, which is good because it looks good to me. I'm on high graphics. I do have a 5090, but I've almost more than doubled my FPS since this last patch, which to me is amazing. At the moment, it's showing about 80. You can't see the counter in the corner. Even running at 3 speed, it's still saying about 80. Before, I got about 40. I've seen it as high as 100 FPS, particularly if we come over to areas where it's not quite so busy. So like this, 101, 105, 96. To me, that is absolutely amazing, and I'm hoping they can keep these performance gains going. I don't know how you've been doing with your performance, but be interested to hear in the comments below as well. We've done it! We've finally hit 100,000 British citizens in our city, and I am absolutely chuffed. The spaces we wanted to fill are looking beautiful, with big thanks to our community's amazing mod and asset makers. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing so you can continue to enjoy our British build together. And as always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons. You can see their names on screen now, with an extra special shout out to my latest 3 new patrons, Ro, Batman's best friend, and Ashley Canner. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all very soon for some more Kettlewick.